I had a lot of people in my family who never believed that I would crack the exam. It's not kind of, the post IAS life that motivated me to do it. It was just what I was doing every day. So it was like, Acha, I'm having a lot of fun studying. So let me study more and let me study more and let me study more. And that kind of initiated the whole process. It was actually the joy of, knowing more and learning more that kept pulling me, ki, Acha, no, I have to do it. I have to do it.
Mithali Sethi. Mithali Sethi, who is an IAS officer of the 2017 batch. We take great pride in the fact that, we had also trained her before the interview of the civil service exam. She is a dentist by profession. She is from Punjab and she did her BDS in Jalandhar, and she then did her MDS from BDS from Amritsar, and then her MDS from Chennai, and she also worked in Pondicherry. So she's a pan-Indian personality even during her pre-IAS days, and then she had worked in the tribal areas of Gadchiroli briefly before the civil service bug had smitten her, and she came out with flying colors. She was All India 56th rank in the 2017 exam, posted to the Maharashtra cadre. So it's indeed a very happy moment to be interacting with her. Welcome, Mithali.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine. Thank you.
And thank you for taking time, because I know that this is quite a bit of testing times for everyone in the administration. So thank you for taking your time out for this conclave. So, Mithali, before we start about your training days and, after getting into the service, your training at Lavasna and also your sub-collector experience and all, what motivated you to join the service? Because you were already a professional, a very respected profession of being a doctor, a dental doctor. You were married and settled, so to speak. So what prompted you to take up civil service?
I think I've always held this, and I tell this to everybody, that I never even knew that, what is IAS, and I'd never had any experience with administration. Nobody from my family is in the services. And yes, I wasn't settled, so to speak. I was actually settled. There was this whole plan of, staying in Pondicherry and all of that. But then I always had this thing that, I always wanted to work with people. And as an MDS orthodontics, I always felt this is really a microcosm of what I'm doing. Not that I did not enjoy it. I completely enjoyed what I was doing. But there was this thing that I like working in the social space. And the moment I kind of had any interaction in social sector, it would just come back to me that, this is something that I really want to do and I'm not really doing it.
Right.
So when Gadchiroli happened and I was there for 10 days, and then I was a part of their medical team, and we went into a lot of interior villages and we started, I started doing the epidemiology of oral diseases project and all of that. That is when I realized that, I'm extremely happy doing this, and this is not a city and this is not settled life, but it just makes me so much happier, and just makes me sad to kind of leave after 10 days.
Right.
I just wanted to get back, and then I started exploring options. Now, one of the options was to work in Gadchiroli with the NGO, which was also something that we considered. But then I just thought that, let me just begin studying, and let me just explore what IAS is. And I hadn't read newspapers from the past, 10 years or so. I had no idea what is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So I was that dumb. So I just started reading, and it was amazing. I mean, I started reading the newspaper, and then I realized, ki, acha, oh my God, I mean, the country functions this way, and there is RBI, and there is, I never knew repo rate, what is repo rate and what is reverse repo rate. It is a process. I mean,
Right.
I used to read newspaper for like 8 to 10 hours in a day. I used to bring it to college and then take it back from college, the same newspaper.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, so I'm not getting what's economy, so let me just like read a book on economy. And the more I kind of read what is in the books, it's not kind of the post IS life that motivated me to do it. It was just what I was doing every day. So it was like, acha, I'm having a lot of fun studying, so let me study more, and let me study more, and let me study more. And that kind of initiated the whole process. And then I obviously came to know that IAS has the power and the authority, and you get to work with the social sector. Of course, a lot of things that I've discovered are in hindsight. I
Right.
mean, today when I know so much, I can always say that I knew all of it back then, but I actually did not. It was actually the joy of knowing more and learning more that kept pulling me. Ki, acha, no, I have to do it. I have to do it. And then, I mean, it took 3 years,
Right.
but yeah.
That's okay. So, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
once you get into the service,
Yeah.
all the previous unsuccessful attempts vanish, and
Yeah.
you feel great about having
Yes.
cracked it. So that's a wonderful thing. And as someone who was married and was preparing for it, so how much of a support did your husband give you? How important is it for married women to get the support from the family to be able to pursue their dreams?
Of course, I mean, for anything that anybody is doing, whether you're married or not, you definitely need support of people around you.
Right.
And, but there are always going to be people who would tell you that they believe in you. I mean, I had a lot of people in my family who never believed that I would crack the exam, because they saw me and they knew ki she's never studied newspaper. I mean, I've written this down on my blog, and I always say this, that my husband told me on the first day that your current affairs knowledge is under the ground, it's not even zero. I
Right.
mean, and he said, I don't know how you're going to make it. And I think that was great. It was an honest thing. It kind of challenged me.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know if my parents ever thought that I would make it. My in-laws never thought that I would make it. It was always like, if she wants to do it, let's just, let her do it. And then she would see for herself. But then slowly over a period of time, I was just happy that, nobody kind of forced me to take an alternative decision. What they said was, "Theek hai, we don't agree to this, but if this is your decision," I think that's, even if you get that kind of support,
Absolutely.
it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I know. So
Yeah.
support need not be sitting together and making you chai
Yes.
and motivating you.
Yes.
As long as they
Yes.
don't disturb you, that's motivation enough.
Yeah. So I said, Ki, I mean, the only thing that I want is that don't tell me that, you have to do this and you have to do that. Let me make my own choices. Let me fall down. It's all right.
Right.
So, but I had amazing colleagues at work. I mean, I have these 3 women that I used to work with, and they were great uplifters. I mean, my own head of department. And that way, I think it's really important to have at least 1 or 2 people in your life. They can be your family, they can be outside your family, they can be your friends, who kind of believe in your central beliefs. That why am I doing this? And this was what you just asked. It was a very pertinent question, that you are already in the social sector, you're doing a service, a kind of
Right.
service. But then, so why do you want more? And that's
Right.
not a question that is easy to answer a lot of
True.
times. But
True.
there were people, who told me that it's all right. And if this
Right.
is how you feel, you just feel it. We don't need an explanation. So that was
Absolutely.
amazing. Yeah.
Great. Great. So now to your training life in
Yeah.
Labasna, as we call it, Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration. Right. So you were awarded the best outgoing probationer. Yeah. So in Labasna lingo, that is what is called as a KTP,
KTP.
isn't it? Yeah. So keen type probationer. Yeah. So for all the aspirants who are out there, this is a term that you will hear the first day you land in Labasna after you clear the
Yeah.
exam. You'll be called a KTP if you are one like Vitali, and there is no harm in aspiring to be one. But so tell us, so I have been in the training myself. I was
Yeah.
definitely not a
Yeah.
KTP. So I know that for sure. So, and KTPs are a small group of people, isn't it?
Oh, I was not a
Or-
KTP.
but anyway, so how did
Yeah.
so there is lot of physical activity, there is a
Yeah.
PT, there is a trek, there is village visit, there is India Day. So I'm sure knowing you would have enjoyed everything. But why don't you take the aspirants through the various aspects of training and
Yeah. So when one joins in the Basna, as you know by experience, I mean, there's all the services together. So when I joined, there were around 396 people, including
oh,
11 people from Bhutan,
right,
the RCBS.
right,
So, I mean, foundation course is just so full of activities that 3 months is so intense,
hmm,
and it just flies by like nothing. I mean, now we just sit and remember foundation course. It was
true,
just it was like 3 months. But when you go to Labasna, actually, it's extremely, you're meeting 395 people. If you're somebody like me, I had no friends as aspirants. So
right,
there was nobody who was kind of studying with me and who went with me to Labasna. Everything was new,
yes,
and it's really nice, but at times it's also scary because you're trying to fit in, and it's not easy fitting in always. But Labasna, I think the closest I've come to a Western style effective training in all of the education that I've received has been Labasna.
absolutely,
I mean, the training was very well planned. The
yeah,
curriculum was great. And then there's very little hierarchy in Labasna. I mean, you can do what you want to do, you can say what you want to say, and there's very little resistance to what you're doing. I have encountered a lot of that in my graduation and post graduation.
right,
And I think the biggest thing that I realized in Labasna was art. I mean, that's something that we tend to miss in our lives also. But Labasna just ensures that extracurricular activities, fitness, and life has to just be really balanced. They don't
absolutely,
burden studies, and they don't tell you that you have to study for 12 hours. It's just the
absolutely,
understanding, and I think that's what you carry forward UPSC along with.
true.
And I was the best probationer in Lavasana in foundation course, but I tell people that I danced my way through it, because every time there was a function, I was on the stage. I mean, it was always like Mitali Sethi has to do Bhangra. If there's a Punjab
Very
performance,
good.
she's going to
Very
be
good.
there.
So how will you? So have you missed any PT class? That's the first question.
Uh, I have, but I
Okay.
only I wanted to miss PT classes, so I would take part in like dance performances, because there was always an exemption. कि अच्छा,
Right.
these guys are really dancing. We weren't really dancing too much, but it was always
Absolutely.
like कि अच्छा, these guys can have exemption because later in the day they are all going to dance. But I really want to say that before I entered Labasna, I had no physical schedule to speak of. I mean,
Yes.
I have never really regularly exercised, and most of the women that I now meet, I keep telling them that it was academy that instilled in me a regular sense of exercise, and I saw
Absolutely. So
batchmates who
at
girls who were
5 o'clock,
lifting
5:30
weights.
in the morning,
Yeah,
you
yes,
feel bad when you
and
hear that
I
whistle sound
know.
over
At the
there. But
discipline, I still remember 5:36 ko aaye to there always used to be an extra 3 rounds if you're like
right.
half a minute late.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that was amazing.